welcome back to Part-Time Okie Pickers Inside the Cellar Studio. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm John.
And we are officially done with the first week of January. We had set some New Year's resolutions regarding eBay store and listing. And I said I wanted to list one item a day. I wanted to keep it simple. This is just the bare minimum. This is not the amount that it's going to be every single day. I mean, most days, yes. But I just said I wanted to list one item every single day. And of course, John had to one-up me, and he said he wanted to list 2 items every single day. We have done really good with it. We've done it every single day. Even yesterday, our daughter had made all-region honor band, and so we were out of town. We stopped at a couple thrift stores, and we actually found a couple items. Some of them being new movies, so we didn't have to do anything special with it. We just scanned barcodes and were able to take pictures and list while we were sitting in the car waiting. We thought it would be fun for the month of January, the next couple videos, I'm not sure how many we'll have planned, to go over top 5 things we wish we had known when we first started really doing eBay. And the first thing that probably scares a lot of people, and it scared us too, we had a lot of learning to go along the way, and we eventually, I feel like we have a really good system, but it's shipping. Top 5 things about shipping, and I'll let you get started on.
And if it's not scary, it kind of should be, especially starting off. So we've got our top 5 things. They're in no particular order of like most wish to know or least wish to know, but the number one thing is purchasing postage. I take packages to the post office almost daily. It's right down the street from where I work, and I see people in line always standing there waiting to purchase shipping. Now, this isn't the grandma sending Christmas gifts. This is the individual using eBay tape. If you're using eBay tape, you're probably shipping because of eBay, but yet they're still standing in line. The thing that I really want to talk about in it is the purchasing postage is never buy postage from the post office. Never wait in line. It's just a big waste of time. There are plenty of other ways you can do it. I would always suggest buying through eBay. You can use other platforms such as Pirate Ship or its counterparts, which we have used in the past for certain things. We listed, a car manual, not in a book, so we couldn't send it media mail. We had to ship it through Pirate Ship, something similar or very small like that. Always buy through eBay. You're getting your discount. If nothing else, it's easier. The tracking's automatically uploaded, so you don't even have to remember to keep your receipt and type in the 26-digit code or whatever it is. So that's always going to be my number one thing, is purchasing postage from the actual post office. Or don't purchase it from the post office, purchase it through eBay.
And Pirate Ship is really easy to use too if you can't purchase through eBay for some reason, category, or you have to reship an item out, or any scenario that you need to use Pirate Ship. I don't know how easy the others are, but Pirate Ship is very easy for even me to understand, and I get confused really easily when it comes to shipping and doing all of that. You just have to create an account, and it's free, I think, and then you set up your payment method, and it's very easy to follow through the steps.
Okay, so number 2, this isn't necessarily going to be what to sell or where to find it or how to sell it, but number 2 is going to be kind of a what to sell. When you're first starting off and you're worried about shipping, a lot of people look around the house and sell something they have. Maybe don't start your first listing with that Bose surround sound you don't use, or that stand mixer you got for Christmas a couple years ago. Shipping those are going to be complicated, time consuming, material intensive, a lot of packing material, big box. That's usually what scares people. Start off with small stuff. An extra t-shirt, a jacket, a pair of pants, an old pair of running shoes because you didn't start running like you thought you would. I personally would never sell something very large as my first item. I would start off easy and work my way up to it, especially over time.
And this isn't related to shipping either, but usually if you are a new seller and you're starting with big, expensive items, you're going to start getting scam messages about payments and contact me. So it's best to start small and work your way up.
Number 3 is printer. We initially started off with a $200 budget. That included everything. That included all of our shipping materials, supplies, and stuff like that, including the printer. So we just used our printer that we already had at home. If you don't have a printer, buy a cheap one. I would never suggest going into debt to get your eBay reselling business off the ground. Everybody loves their thermal versus paper, which I agree. We have a thermal printer. I'm not going to get into Dymo versus Rollo. That's an argument I don't care to start today. We do have a Rollo. But we also started off with a Zebra that we had purchased at Goodwill
On 50% off day. We were too
50%
cheap to pay their price.
I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay $40 for it because they said they didn't know it had been tested, which I don't know what that really means. Coming from Goodwill, but I didn't want to pay $40 for it, and it was on sale when I went in one day, and I purchased it for $20, and we used it for probably 2 or 3 years. I mean, we used it a long time, and then we resold it, and we made money off of it after the fact. So it helped pay for the thermal printer we have now. So when you're purchasing labels, you don't have to go thermal right off the bat. You can buy sticky paper at Staples or another office supply store. You can also just tape over it. Just make sure when you put tape on it, you do cover up the tracking number, but there are no bubbles or waves because they'll have a hard time reading it. So number 3, which we knew, is you don't have to have thermal. You can use paper and ink just the same.
And if you don't have a printer, like he said, you can find them cheap. You can also find them at garage sales for like $5. The ink is the most expensive part, 100%. But if you can find them at garage sales for $5 or $10 and just get use out of it for a couple months even, it's totally worth it.
Number 4 is an interesting one. I'm calling it the bells and whistles. This is along the same line as a thermal printer. There's no reason to go into debt to buy bells and whistles. And when I say bells and whistles, I mean the stickers or thank you cards that everybody likes to put in their package. We do use a thank you card, but we also didn't do it right off the bat. It's just another thing to tie up money when you're starting out. You need all the capital you can get. We've also seen people that have purchased special packing material where we get, I don't know, a $6 Christmas ornament, and it's in this pretty, green and red packing material that they would have used in like a gift or something. Maybe they got it at clearance at Hobby Lobby or something like that. But I would not go out of the way to make your presentation better than it needs to be, especially right off the bat. You should always just ship it as quickly as possible and as safe as possible.
It just has to get there in one piece. It doesn't have to look pretty.
And then number 5, by far the hardest tip that everybody starts off with, us included, is shipping costs and practices. And when I say practices, I mean what size of box should you use? How much packing material should you use? Should you ship that blow mold in a poly bag wrapped in bubble wrap? Or should you ship it in a box to give it a chance of actually arriving in one piece? Those ideas and thoughts is, if I cram the item in the box, is it good enough that the box is kind of sticking out the middle? Probably not. You probably want a buffer. You want some packing material. Either old newspaper, which I'm not sure how many people get newspapers anymore, but ads, magazines, grocery sacks. There's lots of cheap ways to do packing material before you start going and buying bubble wrap, and you have your subscription and American Bubble Boy sending it to you all the time. And then shipping cost. So I've not listened to my suggestions. I'm shipping my wife's stand mixer that she doesn't use or uses often as she could, and I think the post office will ship it for $20 because $20 sounds like a lot for shipping, so I'm going to ship it. And then I go through it. I want to charge the customer $20, and now it's $65. So I've just cut $45 into my profit or into my sell price that I wasn't expecting on. There's a difference between free versus paid shipping. Some people really argue strongly for free, so it looks more like Amazon or other places. We also have paid. We have half and half. Some items I just build it in. There are some items that the comps show that everyone's paying for shipping, so I'm going to charge it as well. And then there's a difference between calculated shipping and fixed price shipping. There are certain things like these t-shirts that we've been selling. I listed most of those as calculated or as fixed shipping at $5 because I know for the most part the t-shirts are going to ship in between $3.90 and like $4.85 so far. But calculated shipping would be charging the customer $5.95 to $6.40, somewhere in there, and that's just an extra $1.50 that they shouldn't have to pay for a $5 t-shirt. So we do have both calculated and fixed price. On some of the larger items, we do charge calculated, but when a customer asks, that shipping seems kind of high, we always say, if it comes out grossly overcharged, we will refund you the difference. Because sometimes that calculated shipping is a little crazy, especially when they're preparing it to go to Maine or Washington, and it's going to Arkansas or Kansas, which is closer for us in the middle of the country in Oklahoma.
And we don't always ship just USPS. We do ship FedEx and UPS. We actually like FedEx more because we have better luck with them.
Yep.
They've done everything right.
For the most part, FedEx is always cheaper for us, which is interesting. Most of the time when we ship FedEx, it's a golf club or a longer item that the post office can't handle, or it's just a heavier item, or they just give that better price. Sometimes they are cheaper, especially since we're in the middle of the country as opposed to shipping from Florida to California. We get right in the middle, so our prices are a little bit lower than others. So that's kind of the 5 things we wish we knew when starting about selling on eBay, and those are still the 5 things that we think about often. Mm-hmm. Some of us, when they have to ship by themselves and stuff, it gets tricky sometimes.
It does, and it's really always around boxes too. Like you had put like for shipping costs and keeping it down. It's okay to reuse boxes. If you buy a lot on Amazon, if you work somewhere where you can get boxes, reuse them. I mean, I don't know what happens when we drop off old boxes at the recycling center, but why not just reuse them and recycle them to someone else, and hopefully then they recycle them or reuse them. As long as the box is in good condition and it didn't get there destroyed. You can also Frankenstein boxes. Cut 2, make 1, figure it out to make it fit for your item.
That's trickier. I probably wouldn't do that with my first item.
Probably not, but when you get to where you are buying shipping supplies, Frankensteining boxes will help cut down as well, so you're not using more bubble wrap or packing peanuts. Cardboard box, a free cardboard box that you're reusing is cheaper than bubble wrap or packing peanuts that you're having to pay for.
Sure. Okay.
I think that's all we had today for our top 5 shipping practices that we wish we had known. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe so you're notified when we release new videos, which is twice a week. And I think we'll try to keep that up. We may not always have a garage sale video as we filter through the winter because we didn't start recording until fall. And we were really scared to wear a camera. It's quite scary. I just expected people to like yell at me or like say mean things. I was like trying to record their house or something. But this year we're gonna start off, first weekend of garage sales wearing, so we have a lot of videos. But we still have some footage that we are able to upload. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.